And I'll make like a confession. I always thought like I would be okay with adopting, which I still am open to it. But do you remember that story about I watched this stupid documentary about the little girl that got adopted and then she like tried to like murder the family of the people that adopted her. She's like adopted, she's from like Russia or something. And then she said that she was 9 years old, but she already had her period and everything. And then they said that she was like 25. Angelica's shaking her head. Can you explain it?
It's a movie. It's called The Orphan, right? Are we talking about the same thing?
Yes, okay. yes. Explain it, because I feel like
she had some kind of medical condition or something that made her like look younger, and she lied and said she was a little girl, and then it gets weirder because she like comes on to the dad and stuff too. It's
she
really
tried
weird.
to really hurt. I don't know if she hurt like the dog, or she really tried to hurt one of the family members. And I'm like, oh god,
there was a movie and then there was a real life thing that happened.
No, this is real life.
Talking about The Orphan.
Okay, well, I'm talking about the movie.
Talking about the movie.
Oh, I'm talking about a real thing.
Ari is talking about the real thing.
Okay.
Ari, it actually came to find out that little girl was a little girl.
That's what I thought.
She wasn't a little girl?
No. It's no.
Are you sure?
They went to court. The judge said she was not a little girl, and now I guess they're trying to sue again. Just trust me.
They've gone back and forth a bunch with that. And then there's like a doctor that's like, no, she actually was 9. Like, I don't think anyone really knows.
If you see the videos, it's like this.
But no, she was a little person.
Yes, she's a little person, but it doesn't mean that she couldn't be psychotic, right?
No, I think that she wasn't psychotic. They also left her in an apartment by herself. They did some weird shady stuff too.
Yeah, the parents were also awful. There was like a whole thing on it where the parents were not innocent in the whole
I haven't watched the whole thing. But even whether it is or it isn't that she was evil, it's just scared me. I'm like, oh god.
It's like, I'm not adopted. I ain't adopted someone that's gonna try to kill me in my sleep. Okay, I'm not welcome to some child into my home, and then they might murder me. I'm
like already a little traumatized from like the people that bite the hand that feeds them or whatever. I'm like, I don't. That would be. Of course, that would happen to me. I'm like,
you'd have to adopt like a little baby.
I know.
Is this a story?
No,
Is Orphan a true story? Where's the real Natalia Barnett now?
That's the movie, yeah.
Oh, that's the movie. Oh, there's a movie about it.
That's why people accused the family of taking this from the movie. They said it didn't actually happen. They watched this movie and then they accused the little girl of being this. That the parents were the crazy ones, not this little girl from Russia.
No, it came out. Okay, well, what I saw, I was convinced based off of what I heard.
Find the story.
Let me see if I can find the little clip that I watched that I was like, oh my Lord.
She was a little girl. If you guys saw the video, I've been to little people conventions. She was a little girl. And this family, her adoptive parents went and watched the goddamn Orphan. And then they probably decided to come up with this little scheme. They watched that movie to freak them out.
Yeah, you could be right about it. I need to do more research, but the father was being interviewed and describing the story, and then when they went to court and everything came out,
that's her adopted dad. That motherfucker looks crazy.
Grace. This looks like Carlos Mencia. Are we sure this is him? Natalia Grace, Ukrainian orphan accused of masquerading as a child, tries to kill adopted parents, shares her story. Holy cow. She was accused of masquerading as a child despite being an adult in the 6-part series.
Okay, there's a show called The Curious Case of Natalia Grace. I think that's what it is. Mm-hmm. So I think both sides are represented in the show. It's like a
She was 20 years old. What the hell?
She was 9.
Okay, I think I found the video. Hang on, let me cue it. About the,
okay. Megyn Kelly covered this. All right, I trust this. Here we go. Bing, 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 bing. Okay.
The Curious Case of Natalia Grace. It's about this dwarf, alleged dwarf. I mean, no, she is a dwarf. She's an actual
Yeah,
dwarf. No, she's an actual dwarf. Alleged child at the time of the
Right.
adoption, and that was in dispute. How old she was. So she was from Ukraine, and she got adopted by Michael and Christine Barnett. So here's a bit. I think this is from the trailer.
He
but
looks
Here
9.
is Michael Barnett
He
Who
was.
is
They watched
really-
this movie.
Yeah. to watch this series. This is the adoptive father, who is one of the most colorful characters I've ever beheld in a television series. Listen to
is
him
12-minute
talking
video.
about
Jesus,
what
okay.
happened after they adopted what they thought was a 6-year-old Ukrainian girl.
How old was she?
We get to the hotel that night, and Christine's going to give our brand new daughter a bath.
What is that
She was
tie?
6.
And I from the bathroom. This was
Okay.
a not playing around. Come here
Did
right
she have-
now, Michael. Shout.
She's supposed to be
Wait a
6 years
second.
old.
Go fly into the bathroom.
Oh God.
And the
This
color's
guy's a
almost gone
liar.
from her
Look at him.
face.
Look at him.
It's almost like she's seen a ghost. She's
I don't trust that tie.
She's truly frightened, and she just doesn't know what she's seeing and what's going on.
She
Says,
had
"Michael,
a penis.
Michael, look down.
What?
And Natalia had full pubic hair.
I
I don't know what to
don't
think.
know. Can't people get pubes
Google's telling us,
early?
earliest
6 years
possible
old?
time, lowest common denominator, 8. So we just go, okay, look, our mission, we were going to show love and compassion to somebody that never had it before.
I don't like
That
that, he
doesn't
like
make a
she
difference.
called him in to look at her pubes.
Yeah, that is weird, actually.
Like, I think the thing to do is finish the bath and then like have that conversation privately.
Yeah,
Not be like,
that's
get
true.
in here. You gotta look at this.
Then
No.
these crazy people abandoned her. Because they thought she was an adult, they abandoned her at an apartment. Like, they
Wait,
got her
I
an
think he
apartment.
says it. He says when she tries to. So yeah, you might be right. See, I didn't like take a second look at this, but then
No,
she
does
said,
he says she tried to seduce him. Oh,
"No,
he watched that
kill him."
movie.
Wait, no. Like, I think he says it right here.
It's-
That she tries to kill him.
Then I called in my brother. Look at these pubes. God damn.
Difference. There was a day
That's a little
I came
sus.
home from work.
Ugh.
Christine's got a pair of Natalia's underwear.
What?
Christine
Get out of her
asked Natalia
underwear.
to tell me what's going on. To remember her physicalness at the time. Her hands were just out in front of her like this.
Wait, what?
She said, well, I have a period. And
Okay.
I've been hiding it.
Hiding your period.
And I
Kid.
just
Hold on. So she was saying she was 6 years old.
Allegedly, according to him, he said that they did adopt her at 6 years old, and then she's saying she has a period at. I don't know how long after they had adopted her.
I don't know. I mean, I would say the period's probably coming sooner rather than later. I don't know that I'd be so shocked. I don't know. Although I got mine at 14, but
6 is pretty young.
I just think his reaction is a little weird to me. Like,
He is something's off with.
Well, and Megan
the
even
fuck
said
does he
it.
know?
Yeah.
yeah.
just don't know what's going on right now.
Okay. So
She's
they live
she's
with
like this
this
fucking guy.
person, child, right? They're not sure now. What
Do you see
what
why I was
exactly
freaked
the
out?
age of this person that they've adopted. And they start to see what they say is very disturbing behavior. They think she's 6, but now they have real questions about whether she's 6. And the adoptive father, Michael, tells, among other stories, this story about when they all went to, I think it was a Christmas tree farm or a farm all together, what happened with their newly adopted, quote, little girl.
I turn and look. Natalia and Christine are in a physical altercation. It looks like Natalia's trying to pull Christine.
Are those actors? I think those are actors.
In case she's a little person, how strong can she be? She uses her arms a lot.
What?
Push herself up on things. She goes up the stairs using her arms. She's got guns that Schwarzenegger would be impressed with.
What?
Oh my God.
She's very strong.
This guy's
My
wild.
wife is great. She's got
Yeah,
a degenerative
he
disease
was
called
weird.
lupus. She's weak. I
don't know
start to
what
go
lupus-
back. Christine says, no, go. Okay. She
This
wants
guy
my
is
son to have
fucking
his
weird.
birthday. We go. And me and the boys double time it. We get a little bit farther down. and we hear the sirens. The second I heard the sirens, I thought Christine was dead.
What?
Okay,
Yeah.
so wait.
Okay.
Now watching this again, this guy is a
Wonderfully
little more than sus. Way more than sus.
He's a little loony.
appreciate all that the family
Yeah.
says happened. They come to believe that the person they've adopted is not 6, but is 21 years old. That she was not born in 2003 or 2004. She was born in 1989.
Ooh.
And that this whole thing has been a ruse, potentially by this Ukrainian mother, potentially by...
How annoying. You're like, man, we have to send her to college now. We thought we had time to save up money. I'd be like,
It's a
you
mystery.
tricked
I
us.
don't know. Now I gotta like watch it because I don't. I
Dad is
didn't see
coming
much
off
of the
very
other.
weird to me.
He is actually. You're right. Now looking back at it,
He's
Oh,
insane.
goodness.
They watched The
let's see,
Orphan and they got ideas.
I think they play a clip of the girl, so
Yeah,
maybe you can
let's
see
hear
her
what
side,
she has
her
to
side of
say.
the story.
So I was a little girl when they adopted me in SOP 5. Watch this.
They knew it. They still did what they did. This one little piece of paper throws every single lie that the Barnetts has said right
This
into the
is her?
trash.
Yeah, years
With a-
later.
This is
Oh,
so big
she's a
because
dwarf or
literally This has
something.
been 13 years. 13 years of
She's a
just two
midget.
people lying their butts off.
Okay.
Okay. So
That-
she's
my
found
favorite thing about this is
redemption.
that these two people have no fucking clue what to say, what to think. They're like, I don't know, Megan, lead the way. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
They're both defense attorneys, I think.
Oh, okay. I was
Anyway.
gonna say, why are they there?
Yeah, yeah.
Wait,
So
That makes sense.
it's. I mean,
know what
honestly,
to
it's
make this,
terrible
Megan.
if it happened to the parents, and it's terrible if it happened to the girl. I mean,
Yeah, there's no winning.
yeah, there's. I don't know who's.
Let's see what the old guy has to say about it.
Charge that a prosecutor would want to bring if the prosecutor believed that the parents had done this willfully or maliciously. I
Well,
mean,
that's it, right? Like,
absent that.
let's say they can bring it somehow.
Yep.
The defense is going to be, we believed she was a grown up.
Why can't this guy get in frame?
That's exactly right, and we believed it so much
'Cause he's
that
too old.
we
He
went
doesn't
through the court
understand how it
system, and the
works.
court believed us as
Get
well.
in the frame, buddy.
So, Jonna, I mean, criminally and honestly, civilly too, like, I guess, do they need to
How does he
prove
not
that these
see
were
that
just
he's out of
terrible
the
people
frame?
who knew that it was a 6-year-old or 6 to 8
Because
and couldn't deal with her? So they made up this lie? Like that the pubic hair,
So-
the period, like those were all lies? Or this is just like, how are they going to get past what seems like a legitimate belief by the parents that this kid was older than she was saying?
So I have questions. And the first one is, how is it possible that a surrogate court judge changed a person's birth certificate without some sort of
Yeah.
serious expert medical testimony? Numero uno. Number two, I mean, I suppose because if they didn't go through that process, which I didn't even know you could do, I'll be honest with you guys, been doing this a long time, didn't know you could go to a circuit court judge and say, see this kid here? Not a kid. It's she's 22. Change the birth certificate. Like, I
They
didn't know
did.
that was even possible.
They did go
If
through
they
a
took that
process
on-
for sure.
They did. And if that wasn't part of the equation, then I think there is criminal liability for sure, because then they're just taking a kid that if you just think your 6-year-old is really 22, now you've got the problem. And I think they could have been criminally prosecuted. But because the intervention of the surrogate court actually legitimizing their crime, if you think about it, then that you can't go after that judge. So I think that's going to lay dead.
So the-
they're not
the
gonna be
part-
able to-
the part that you
Yeah,
skipped is just that
It's absolutely.
they had gone to court and the court said, yes, she's an adult. So that's what they're talking about. So even, and then I guess the girl got some other documentation that shows she's not. So anyway, it already went back and forth. So that's why it's confusing, because the court said that she was an adult.
Wow.
That's bizarre. The whole thing is wild, right?
Yeah, it's a crazy story. I remember hearing this was years ago that this happened, right?
I don't
I've
know.
never heard of this.
I literally is the only thing I watched, and I was like, maybe I shouldn't adopt. But like, maybe
that
just
all
not
the
from
time.
Ukraine. I would have to get a really baby one. Who does it all the time?
Oh no, I do that all the time. I'm always like, I don't know, I saw a thing. It's like when your aunt tells you something, like when you're growing up before kind of the internet was as big as it is, like, your aunt or your dad or your parent or someone would tell you a thing and you just went on believing it for your entire life.
Yeah.
Like, did your parents ever tell you that it was illegal to turn the inside car on, like the car in the inside light
Yeah.
on?
Yes.
That's
What?
not. It's
While
not.
you're
it's not
driving.
illegal at all.
What?
Yeah, yeah. It's not illegal at all. But
What's illegal?
to turn your interior car light on while you're driving. at
Well,
night.
it's dark.
Supposedly
Yeah.
it's illegal, but it's not.
Illegal?
My friend
No.
just said that.
I thought it was illegal too.
Same. It's totally not.
Aw.